Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Joseph with The Explosive Videos, bringing you part 5 of our audio recording series. Before we jump into this tutorial, I want to go ahead and talk about what we covered so far. In part 1, we showed you how to set up and get Audacity, the free recording software, offline. I showed you guys about the tools and the whole interface, and also how to record and save your Audacity file on your computer. Part 2, I showed you guys how to record streaming or live audio, which is the sounds, music, anything playing from your computer. Part 3, I showed you guys how to make your voice sound better. We went through there and I showed you guys some techniques and some ways to add some different effects to your voice to make it sound better, whether it's singing or whether you're just speaking, whatever recording it is, how to make that sound a lot better. And in part 4, we took a more in-depth look at the vocal effects and what you can do to make your voice sound really good and put it with the music and sound like a professional. So here in part 5, what we're going to do is we're actually going to be creating a song. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using my keyboard plugged into my computer. It's pretty simple, but if you guys want a tutorial on that, let me know and I can show you guys exactly what I did to do that. So the difference between a keyboard and a MIDI is a keyboard has sound stored inside of it. That's why you're able to plug it into the wall, hit power, and then you can sit there and play, ding, 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 ding. Now on a MIDI, you can't do that. It has to have the sounds in whatever software you're using. So it has to be plugged up to a computer, and the sounds are going to come not from the controller, but actually from the software. So that's why I'm doing it this route, because Audacity is not yet capable of running a MIDI controller. I found that out the hard way because I have a keyboard that can be hooked up through MIDI. And I did everything, went through all this stuff, and I could not figure it out. Seriously, it took me like a year. And then finally, I found somewhere where it says that Audacity does not support MIDI at this time. But it seems like in the near future, they're going to try to find a way to get that in there. Alright, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be recording while I actually am tracking each individual sound, but you guys would definitely be able to see everything that I'm doing as far as compiling and putting it all together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set my metronome. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want to be able to keep in perfect time as I'm compiling each individual sound. Because remember, tracking, I'm recording each individual sound that's in this song one at a time. So I got to make sure that they all stay in perfect timing with each other. If that doesn't make sense, you'll see by the end of this tutorial the reason for me using this method. Alright, so let me go ahead and add my metronome. Alright, and remember, whenever dealing with multiple tracks, you definitely want to name that track, and you do that by clicking on that arrow and then you click name. So let's go ahead and hear the metronome. Alright, so we have our metronome. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my first actual track of this song. Okay, so I have the first actual track of this song, and I named it Warm Vox. The reason I did that is because that's what it's titled in my keyboard. Alright, so let's go ahead and listen to that. I just remember back when I was like in 7th and 8th grade, I used to sit there on Sunday nights and I'd listen to the late night dedications, and that would be in the background as the announcer or the host of the show would sit there and go through the songs in that really soft, smooth voice. So, I don't know why I thought about this. The other day I was doing something, I was like, oh man, I remember that song, and then I was like, let's learn how to play it. So here we are. So anyways, let's go ahead and add our next track, which is going to be the bass. Okay, remember, like I told you guys before, you're not going to be able to see all your tracks in here, so I'm going to go ahead and utilize this arrow here. So my metronome, I close that up. Warm Vox, I close it up. So now we have our bass track that I added, and I'm going to go ahead and solo this so I can show you guys what the solo does. We have our 3 tracks here. If I hit solo, boom, it mutes any other tracks that I have on here, and now I'm able to hear just this bass track. Alright, so we added our hand clap. Let's go ahead and solo. All right. Now we have our bass drum. Good. Time to add some hi-hat. And I don't know what this is, maraca shaker, whatever. All right, people, it's chime time. And now, to add that more dramatic sound, we have slow strings. All right, so let's take a look. We have all of our tracks in there. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 if you add the metronome. All right, so now I have all my sounds nice and clean in there. Cleaned up all the audio. I'm gonna go ahead and minimize this. All right, so we have all our tracks in there, looking beautiful. And I went in, I made all the adjustments to my sounds utilizing the amplifier, making sure none were too overpowering. You know, this is all stuff that I taught you before, so that's why I'm just covering it quickly and just telling you guys what I did versus actually showing you guys. If you want to see those, there in the previous parts. And let's go ahead and let's remove our metronome. Everything is set in place where I want it. Boom. So we took out that metronome. Now what I'm ready to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix all this down. Like I said before, when you go ahead and you do the mix and render, you want to make sure you have everything selected. So all I did was I clicked on the track and I hit the Control A for all. Then I'm going to go to tracks and I'm going to do mix and render. Boom. Alright, so what it just did is it mixed all my tracks into one final track, and it also added a bunch of presets that Audacity has when it mixes and renders all your tracks to give it that final, finished, glossy type sound. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export this. Let's go ahead and take it to part 5. And it's Moments in Love. And I'm just going to do final. And I'm going to hit save. Artist name, I'm not going to fill out the metadata. I showed you guys how to do that also in previous parts. Alright, so let's go ahead and listen to what we have. Alright, so there you have it, everybody. This is going to complete our 5th and final part of our audio recording series. Hopefully you guys had a good time going through this series with me. Hopefully you learned the intros to recording. And I just thank you guys so much for viewing. And remember, subscribe to this channel, The Explosive Videos. Also jump over to my other channel, my main channel, Explosive Videos. That channel is my comedy channel. This channel here where you're viewing this series is actually my channel where I like to help out by doing reviews on different products, doing unboxings, doing cooking recipes, and doing stuff like this, tutorials. So there's a difference between the two channels. I would love for you guys to subscribe to both channels, but most importantly, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this, and feel free to share any of my videos anywhere you like. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.